Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elemental Presence. My name is Peyton Miller, and this is our April yoga routine called Spring Awakening. Come sit on your mat in a comfortable seated position, spine elongated, shoulders are relaxed. Maybe use some blocks or pillows underneath your knees for some support. Gaze at a drishti point out in front of you. Close your eyes, just come in tune with your breath. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Our focus for this month with Spring Sprung is a quote by John O'Donohue, who is a Celtic Irish priest, philosopher, mystic, and poet. When one flower blooms, spring awakens everywhere. When one flower blooms, spring awakens everywhere. By John O'Donohue. Again, a Celtic Irish poet, philosopher, priest, and mystic. So begin to roll your neck just to open up the body. Inhale as you come back, exhale as your chin meets your chest. Starting in one direction, then reversing the other direction, then beginning to roll the wrists one direction and then the other. You can do this simultaneously by rolling your neck. Then come into Virasana, which is hero's pose. Begin to roll the shoulders, front and back. So in just circles, releasing tension from the shoulders. Then you just reverse direction from back to front. And if you want to roll the neck or roll the wrist with this, you can. So continue to do that. Now take your block or blanket, you can roll it up as I have demonstrated here. Place it to one side. We're doing our side bends here. So just inhale, bring to steeple pose. Exhale, taking it to your right side and taking that left arm over the ear. Inhale back up. And then move to the other side. If you would like a deeper stretch, make sure to bend that elbow back a little bit further to the back of your space. Really focusing in on that side body. We'll do it again to the right. Continuing to breathe, inhaling up, and then exhaling to the other side. This time you may not need the block or blanket. Just go maybe a little bit deeper. Inhale back up, and exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We'll now be moving into our cat, cows, and bird dog. So feel free to take a blanket. Let's put them under the knees for some support. Coming into tabletop. And then release back into child's pose just for a nice little rest before we move into our cat, cows, and bird dogs. Shifting those hips back, really extending out through the hands for a full body stretch here. Inhaling, coming in to tabletop. These are just now going to be counter poses, so bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, gaze up, belly down, cow, exhale around the spine, cat pose, inhale, cow, exhale, cat, inhale, Exhale, cat. Remembering to breathe, providing that breath to movement here. That is what makes up Vinyasa yoga. Vinyasa meaning breath to movement. These are just counter poses, warming up that spine, providing contraction within the spine here, and then flexion, compression. Coming back into tabletop, lifting up that right hand, lifting up that left foot, inhaling, engaging that core, stabilizing the core here, that powerhouse into your bird dog here. Then we're going to exhale, bring it out to the side. So you can then feel a different sensation within the abdominals and also the back. Inhaling back to front, exhale, release down, maybe even pitter pat the hands, and then coming back into your cat-cow. Remember, inhaling cow, exhaling, rounding that spine for cat. Inhale and exhale. Coming back with the left hand now, right foot, flexing those toes down, engaging that core. Remember, having that powerhouse really engaged. Don't put everything into the back or into the legs. Exhale out into the diagonal, still flexing those toes down. Engaging that core, feeling that sensation within that spiral chain, even in those transverse abs here. Inhaling back to center, exhale, release down, coming back into another section of cat-cow. Remember, inhale, exhale, maybe a bit quicker this time, as your spine should be pretty warm. As you exhale, bringing that stomach back towards the spine. Now this time we're going to work on our chaturanga andasana, so their yoga push-up. Place that block or that folded blanket, maybe even rolled, right near the sternum. Now for those who are more on the feminine side, we may have to adjust that just so it doesn't get in the way. And here you're going to lower down with the knees in your modified plank, lower down using your elbows coming about 90 degrees. Chest meets that block or blanket and then come back up. You should go no lower than that. Gaze is right out in front of you. This is our yoga push-up. Reminder, your hands should evenly be distributing that weight, not all in the wrists. So seeing the whites of those knuckles. You can go down and then up, making sure that those elbows are grazing those ribs. This time you can come into your high plank if you would like, and just slowly lower down. And back up, counting for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. Now as a reminder, you can come into your modified plank for this. And again, making sure that those wrists are right underneath those shoulders, arms right underneath those shoulders, making sure those hips are not sinking, but they're elevating, using those core muscles, really focusing in on the rectus abdominis and those transverse abs. Sink back into your child's pose. Nice exhale, releasing the weight from the hands, any tension that might have been in the wrists. It's time to step forward, inhaling up, coming into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So all that energy that we've ignited within that more fire aspect, we're grounding that now in the body. You may even have a nice little sweat from those cat-cows and from those chaturangas. Palms facing up, receiving that grounding energy, taming that fire from within. My name is Peyton Miller, and please feel free to drop a comment if you have any questions, subscribe to the channel. Just be grounding here. Nice deep inhale and exhale. For the month of April, we're in that fire energy of Aries, and then we're moving into that earth energy of Taurus in the cosmology of things. So we're working a blend of igniting the fire, so warming up. Then we're also now going to be grounding that in these segments of the upcoming asanas and sequences. So inhale up. Exhale, we're going to come into our Chandra Namaskaras or our moon salutation. So come into half crescent moon pose, shifting to the right. Hips are going to the left. Inhale back to center. Then moving out into our goddess pose. Remember that your feet should be just angled out a little bit. So this is like a wide second position in ballet. Your feet shouldn't be focused too much out, wherever it's comfortable. Knees are over the second and third toe. Pelvis is neutral, spine is neutral, grounding down towards the earth. Cactus arms if you would like. Then we're going to shift to that right side, so point that right toe, angle that back foot perpendicular, so coming into our triangle pose, straightening that front leg, inhale shifting forward and exhaling as you move down. Coming into your triangle pose, feel free to use a block or blanket for the support of that right arm. Really focusing on opening up that shoulder. We're really opening up like the flower blooms in spring, opening up our bodies. Our bodies are like a flower blossoming in this spring season. And then we're going to shift our hips facing towards the right side of the mat, getting that back foot a little bit closer in the same direction on railroad tracks here. Coming into pyramid pose, making sure you have that flat back. Just nice deep inhale and exhale. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to move down now into our low lunge, making sure that knee is over the ankle, back knee is firmly and supported, really opening up that chest, bringing the arms up, feeling that nice stretch and pull, healthy pull, not pain pull, but healthy pull within those hip flexors. Just as needed, really sinking into that knee that does not go over the ankle or the toes. Gazes outward or in front or above. And then we're going to shift to that right side into our skandasana. So coming onto that right knee, that right heel, and then really stretching into that left leg. Now, a reminder that skandasana doesn't have to be down low. It can be up high, as I'm demonstrating here. So whatever works for you, as our anatomies are different. Once you find that stretch, just nice deep inhale and exhale, maybe in creating a bind, as I'm demonstrating here. So you would take your right hand underneath that knee and bring that left arm to the back to where you can create a bind with those hands. It's a bit of a challenge, but do what works for you. This is just another option. You can always start with option 1 or that modified skandasana. Then we'll come out of that gently into our yogi squat. This is just relieving the tension out of either of those legs and just coming into that nice deep squat. And it's just a transitionary piece to move into the left side, coming into skandasana. Again, using that different option of that modified skandasana if you would like. Otherwise, just come down onto that left heel. Balancing onto that left heel with that knee. Be mindful of that knee again. Using that bind if you would like that extra challenge as an additional option. Really feeling that nice stretch within the legs. Inhale again and exhale. And then we're just doing the reverse as we did on the right side, just on the left, just going backwards. So coming back now into our low lunge left side. You should be facing the left side of your mat. Left knee is over that left ankle. Right leg is the back leg now, really focusing on that healthy stretch of the hip flexor here. You should feel it right through those abdominals and hip flexors. Then coming up into our pyramid pose as we did on the right side. So railroad tracks should be the stance, shouldn't be on a tightrope. Having that flat back, gaze is downward. Then just maneuver your stance, still railroad track stance, coming into almost that warrior two-like stance, but back into our triangle pose, really opening up that left shoulder now. Remember, our body is a blossom, just like a flower. Since it's spring, we're opening up the shoulders. We're blossoming open, opening our bodies, our upper body, our chest. So coming back into goddess pose here as a transitory state before we release back into the completion of our Chandra Namaskara, our moon salutation for this routine with our crescent moon to the left side. So here again, goddess pose. Just make sure that those knees are over the second and third toe. Going back into half crescent moon onto the left side. So really just being mindful here, really taking it slow. We're now going to be moving down to our sit bones. So in this case, we are moving into what we call in yin, our half dragonfly. So feel free to take a block and or a bolster. Take your right knee, bring it inward where you're creating that almost half butterfly, that half dragonfly shape. Our left leg is extended out. Place the bolster on top of that leg. You're drawing that head down to that knee. So if you need some extra support, use that block, use that bolster for some support, even a block to cushion that head. And then just really extend out. We're going to be holding it for a couple of minutes. As in yin, you usually hold it for about 3 to 5 minutes to really move into that, the fascia, the deep ligaments, which we're working on here, that slowness, that melting into the asana or the posture. So if you have to adjust any bolsters or any blocks for comfortability for you, great. Just remember, we're wanting to pleasure the body here. We're not wanting to harm it or create pain. So if there's any sort of pain that is happening in your body right now, just slowly come out of it and go to the posture that does give you bliss and peace and love for yourself. So just nice deep inhales and exhales here. Breathing deeply. And slowly just maybe work your way down a little bit more. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Remember trying to draw that head to that knee. If you're not there yet, that's part of the journey. You are where you are. In whatever capacity you're in right now of this posture, it's perfect for you. There is no right, there's no wrong. There's just experience here. And if this experience creates bliss, great. If not, then come out of it. Now slowly come up and transition to where you bring your legs out extended. In yin, it's always about the coming back into equilibrium. So now we'll move on to the left foot, bringing that in and extending out the right. So this time, inhale, extend forward, place the props where they need them as you did maybe on the left side. Now translating those over to the right side, maybe different, but just bringing that head down to that right knee. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. Remember, deep inhales, bringing everything in, and exhale, just releasing what is not needed. That allows you to go deeper into these areas that you might not have gone before, or might not have allowed your body to go to. And that's what these postures are for. opening, blossoming open, teasing things open as we see plants, buds, trees opening up during this springtime. Nice deep breaths, enjoying the space that you are in, whether it's outside, inside, with others, or in solitude. And slowly go deeper, and slowly come up. Remember allowing the rebound, taking that time to rebound of the muscles and the ligaments. So now take your props away unless you would like to sit on a block for this one or a sturdy blanket. But we're coming into half fish pose, also known as Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we take that left foot, place it right near our right glute, and then taking that right leg over. And we are focusing on keeping the hips facing front, but rotating the ribs to the opposite side. So it's this nice twist where you should feel a nice stretch within those glutes. And so here you will then take that opposite arm over if you would like. So to be over that right knee, that upper thigh. And with this, you're able to maybe even create a little bit of a bind. But you should feel a nice twist, facing those ribs to the right. Gaze is back over that right shoulder. Feeling in that nice stretch within that right glute. Again, this is half fish pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana. And then slowly come out of that, slowly come out of the unwinding. And then we'll move to the opposite side. So bring that right foot over to the left glute right underneath you and bring that left leg over. Remember, keeping the hips facing front. If you need some support for the hips, again, sit on the block or a blanket. But then we're going to rotate to our ribs to the left side. So our hips are still staying front, but our chest, our ribs, using the ribs, not the hips, are going to the left side. Feel free to clasp around that left thigh. Don't press anything on the knee, but right on that left thigh, right above the knee, maybe even extending that arm out. We're reminding ourselves to keep our spine in alignment. I see a lot of students who are rounding their spine while they're doing this, so that's creating a lot of discomfort for your spine. Making sure you're grounding that energy, that pressure into your glutes, engaging the grounding of that spine, lifting that spine, engaging the pressure in the earth through the tailbone, but extending that spine up. If it's too much to bring that hand across, that's totally fine. Don't do it. You want to make sure your posture is in alignment, because then you're just creating in-aligned posture for yourself. So as you do that, just keep in mind, now just slowly come out of that. And we're now going to be coming into our flowing into Savasana postures here. So with this, take a block or a folded up blanket as I have demonstrated, coming onto your back, engaging that core, bringing those feet back towards your glutes. Inhale, lift up, still engaging those core muscles, bringing that block right underneath your sacrum or blanket, and then just lower down. This is called supported bridge pose. It's great used in restorative classes, even yin light classes. Whoops, we're going into happy baby now, but that's getting us ready for that particular posture. So come into happy baby, just rock side to side, really feeling those tension of the muscles. We're then going to come into our supine twist here. Maybe a bit difficult with that block underneath, but you can always just modify that. If it's uncomfortable with the block or blanket, just get rid of it. Just coming into our supine twist. Legs going to the left or right side, whichever one, as long as you're facing the opposite direction with your neck and head. And then slowly inhale back and moving to the opposite side, facing the opposite direction. Get a lot of twists here. So these are just these gentle twists right now. Just alleviating tension from the spine. And now we're coming into our bridge pose. So I'm extending out into our extended bridge here. You can always come back and place your heels right in close to your glutes. But since we were kind of already in preparation, that's why I extended out into extended bridge pose. If this is too much, again, just release the block. Come into just your regular bridge pose without any support, or just come back down into a corpse pose for Shavasana. And again, come into full bridge only whenever you're using supported. Do not come into full bridge if you are in a non-supported bridge position. This is only for supported bridge. Coming out of supported bridge down into our Shavasana. For this Shavasana, I recommend coming into our Yin butterfly, also known as Supta Baddha Konasana. That is just really just laying down butterfly, provide some cushion underneath your head. And for the remainder of this time, I'll be playing some sound alchemy for your Shavasana. Enjoy. Breathe in and breathe out. Shavasana. And slowly bring your awareness back. Roll your fingers, roll your toes. Bring your legs back into your chest. Slowly begin our embryonic movements that allow a safe place for us to remember, allowing the body to awaken and flow into bloom. Do that however you wish, or just slowly come onto your side, where we'll then be coming up to a seated position. Remembering when one flower blooms, spring awakens everywhere. John O'Donohue. Thank you for practicing with elemental presence. Again, my name is Peyton Miller. Click that subscribe button and also keep notifications on for upcoming monthly yoga routines. Namaste. And for future content. Shalom, shalom, peace, peace. Namaste, namaste. Great spring.